Hey, today I want to show you one of Squarespace's newest blocks. It's so much fun. Brings back kind of the 2000s web, which web trends are always changing, but it's also really attention grabbing and really helpful if you're trying to market specific services. So let's take a look. So I've added a section here. I've just put a picture of me in it. So for now, let's go ahead and grab that block. So if you hit this little insert button, you can see all the blocks, and this is the new block I want to show you. So it's called the scrolling block. And right now they're advertising it right here at the top, but eventually it'll be down here as well, just for permanence. So in here, you can see what you want to scroll between. And so this is how Squarespace is designing a lot of its blocks now, is that you have the content and the design in two different sections. So I can say, for example, sale, and then you could say, they've got this really fun wave here, or we could say 60% off. We can maybe add some little brackets in here, and you can see that that is adding some different things. Now, you don't necessarily, this is going to scroll one way or another, so how you structure it is up to you. You don't necessarily need to have these all in two different things, but it could, if you have different ideas that you want to swap out over time, it could be worth, you can delete one and have that same vibe, right? So we could do 60% off. That's the same look, but then maybe you have different things that you're advertising at different times in your business. So you could do that, have ones that you add to, delete, change and then have the ones that are on all the time, right? So this is how you added the content of it. And so if you're going to add another one, it's nice to have some sort of barrier between them so you can see the different ideas between. So now let's go. So this is the scrolling banner. Let's get into styling that a little bit. So you can decide if it's going to be a wave. You can decide if it's going to be just straight across. You can decide what the text style is. So obviously I've got two different fonts in my website, and the text size. So I can make that really big. You can also customize it a little more to your specifications here. So let's go back to that heading, and I can say I want it to be medium and go from there. You can decide which direction it scrolls, which is really useful. You can decide which speed you want it to scroll at. Really fast, really slow. You can decide if you want to pause or slow down on hover. So you can decide if you want to fade the edges. See how now it's kind of faded here. And this, obviously, we're in edit mode. So let's go in and take a look at the preview. But if we hover, see now it stops there. So you can have that feature as well. So it could make it easier to read if someone puts their cursor over it. Now back to the design of this. You can decide how much spacing you want between the various items, and these are the items here. You can decide if you want to add a link to the content, to various other content. So there's lots you can do with this, right? And the way you can also design the color and such of it. So if you hit the site styles here and then colors, then you can go and where you can see I'm in lightest 2. So if I click that there, you can see now we have all the settings. Oh, usually it shows you the color settings. So maybe there's not bespoke color settings yet. Let's take a look. One way we can find these sometimes is to just search. Okay, so I'm not seeing color settings for this specific feature, but that's a good thing to know in the future. It will change based on which feature I have here, and there are going to be code snippets all over the internet if you want to make it look even different. So if you wanted it to have a different background color or whatever. But what I would probably do is just put it in its own section. So that's a code-free solution where you can drag this into its own section, make the section height really small, right? Keep it centered, or however you want to work it, right? Let's get rid of this text box so it actually properly centers. And then we can change this color so it's a little more relevant. So that's a really easy way of keeping this So that's a really easy way to get this to do its own thing, right? So let's take a look at what that looks like now. Hit save. And there it goes, and it will pause. And so there's a million ways to use this. You can use it when you're having sales. You can use it to promote a specific service or feature. I could change this out if I want. So I have this marketing heading at the top here, and I could make it a lot more engaging by adding that information down here where it's scrolling. If you're having a workshop or something upcoming, maybe you want to promote your podcast as that first thing on your site. And you can design this, like I said, in a million ways. So we can make it a way smaller, have it scroll the other direction. Just like have a think about how it's going to suit you and your business needs, and have fun with it. The beauty of a website is that it's changing all the time. So let me know if you have any questions in the comments.